in part two of this look at military sexual trauma, we mentioned a few things: the cutbacks of VA benefits, the cutbacks, the cutbacks of the Bush administration, the second rape. And I want to start out part three by talking a little bit more about the second rape. It doesn't just involve the charges being filed against the survivor, but it also winds up being where the survivor constantly has to go around in the same atmosphere, as before, but with her attacker usually close by. In the civilian world, when a rape occurs, generally speaking, even acquaintance rape, which is the primary form of rape in the military, there's a safety bubble where the civilian can go back to, where they can kind of start to heal and think about things. In the military, that's usually a luxury that can't be afforded. Oftentimes, the people who report on sexual aggression, sexual trauma, and sexual rape, they have to deal with their aggressors on a day-to-day basis while the investigation is undertaken, and there's usually a kind of hesitation to put the victim in a safe place. For instance, in one case, they moved one survivor from a room that was farther away from her attacker to a room that was closer when she had finally gotten her restraining order. And the military, and also what you want to have them to deal with, like I said, the military is a close-knit hierarchical society. So while in actuality it is the attacker, the person who does the raping or harassment or assault, who is the one who breaches the camaraderie that I spoke of earlier, what winds up happening is it's the one who does the reporting who gets penalized for it. She winds up being looked down on by the unit in its entirety, and is looked at as having breached that feeling of solidarity that the armed services provide for people. And that's unfortunate because, like I said, reality speaking, it's obviously the aggressor who violated that. I want to note here that there's no reason to think that military men have to be more prone to rape or sexual assault than other men. There's actually reports show that commanders who refuse to tolerate sexual harassment, sexual assault, and rape in their units don't have it. That's repeatedly seems to be the case from people in the armed services, because somebody higher up in the hierarchy has established that that's just not acceptable. What can be done about this? Well, Dorothy Mackey she's the founder of Survivors Take Action Against Abuse by Military Personnel. She insists that an agency completely independent of the Pentagon needs to be established to investigate sex crimes in the military. This agency would have two primary functions. One would be investigation of sex crimes in the military, and the other would be taking care of victims of sex crimes in the military. I want to leave everyone on the note that supporting the troops means more than just waving the flag. Supporting the troops means more than just putting a nice looking yellow ribbon on your car. And supporting the troops means even more than showing up at anti-war rallies and not buying gas because you support the troops and want to bring them home. Supporting the troops means supporting an environment for the troops where certain segments of the military population don't feel sexually threatened by the predominantly male portion of the military population. Supporting the troops means more than just doing whatever the president says. Supporting the troops means that Bush needs to undo these cuts in Veterans Affairs that he's proposed for the next 2 years, because those cuts are going to ensure that the already paltry sum allocated to female victims of military sexual trauma will only go down even more. If people really support the troops, they will bring this issue to the forefront post haste. Otherwise, any utterance of the phrase support the troops has no meaning whatsoever within the confines of reality. Thank you very much.